Hello, I wanted to talk to you today about some kinds of brains. What is this? Okay, you might be thinking, I don't think that's a kind of brain. And you're probably correct. This is not a kind of brain. This is a cactus. What about this one? Do you know what this one's called? It's a dandelion. Okay, here's some trickier ones. Do you know what this one is called? That one is a redwood tree. How about this? That's a spider plant. What about these? Those are called water lilies, or some people call them lily pads. Is there a word you can think of that means all of these things? One word that describes all 5 of these. Did you think of the word plant? That's the word I was thinking of. If somebody was trying to talk about all 5 of those, they might just say, I'm thinking of a plant. But these plants are all very different. They have unique things about them. A redwood tree can be 300 feet tall. It's the tallest tree on Earth. A spider plant loves to live inside. Their leaves droop down when they're healthy. A dandelion can grow in only a tiny little bit of soil, and it sends down very deep roots. A cactus likes to grow in a hot, dry environment that most things find deadly. And water lilies can grow in a pond or a lake. Their roots are all the way at the bottom, and they send their flowers and leaves up to the top to float on top of the water. So, what if someone wrote a book called What Plants Are Good At? And they were thinking of a redwood tree. And somebody else found the book called What Plants Are Good At, and they were thinking of a dandelion. What could happen? I think the person who wrote the book, What Plants Are Good At, while they were thinking of a redwood tree, they might say plants are good at getting 300 feet tall. Or they might say plants are good at making a huge big forest, because they were thinking of a redwood tree. And so then somebody reading it, who's thinking about a dandelion, might look at their dandelion and say, my dandelion isn't 300 feet tall. My dandelion isn't making a huge big forest. They might even think their dandelion isn't good at being a plant. And what if somebody wrote a book called How to Take Care of a Plant? And they were thinking of a cactus. And somebody else found that book, How to Take Care of a Plant, and they were thinking of water lilies. What could happen? You might put those water lilies in the desert. That wouldn't be good for the water lilies. They would dry up. Those water lilies need to go in a pond so that their roots can go all the way to the bottom of the pond. Then the desert would just bake the water lilies. They would just be dried lilies. Did you know people don't just do this with plants? They do it with brains too. These brains are all different in unique ways. This brain is good at remembering names, telling stories, making music. This brain is good at inventing new ideas quickly and remembering a million fun facts and explaining their own feelings. This brain is good at working slow and steady for a long time, talking about their favorite things and noticing little details. What's something that's unique about your brain? I can think of a lot of different ways that brains are very unique. Brains are really special. They have special ways of thinking about things. And I love that everybody has something unique about them. Something that's unique about my brain is that I really do love to make up stories. I can write a lot really fast. I can think of a lot of words and I'm good at writing them. So what if somebody wrote a book called What Your Brain is Good At, or How to Take Care of Your Brain? But they were thinking of somebody else's brain. My brain is not so good at knowing how to move my body to catch a ball or to do a roll or to play sports. So if somebody wrote a book called What Your Brain is Good At, and they were thinking of a brain that's good at moving their body, my brain wouldn't be very good at that. And if somebody wrote a book called What Your Brain is Good At, and they were thinking of my brain that's very good at writing stories, then my friend might not be very good at that because they like moving their body. They don't like writing stories. Somebody might think, oh, these brains will invent new ideas quickly. And this brain might be thinking, but I work better going slow and steady. I don't think of new ideas very quickly. I'd rather go slow and steady for a long time. What could happen? That picture was of a teacher, and those brains could have been students at school. It could be hard for that student if they're thinking, but I like going slow and steady better than I like doing new things quickly. Or I like talking about my favorite things more than I like learning about new things. Or I like thinking about little details more than I like thinking about the big picture. Then somebody might start thinking that that brain isn't very good at doing what it's supposed to do, but it's just a brain. It's just doing what it's good at. Did you know there are lots of types of brains? One type of brain is called autistic. Autistic brains usually make deep connections with one thing at a time. So autistic brains usually love their favorite thing so much. Autistic brains usually feel sensations very deeply, like your 5 senses, your sight, your smell, your taste, your touch, your hearing. Autistic brains might move their whole body instead of just moving one part of it because their brain got the signal a little bit off and it said to move your whole body instead of just one part of it. Autistic brains might have emotions that feel very, very big, and somebody might try to tell them, hey, this isn't a big deal, but it feels like it is a very big deal. Autistic brains are not all exactly the same as each other either. Every brain and every person is unique. In the past, some people did not know how to take care of autistic brains, and some people did not know what autistic brains were good at. In the past, they were thinking of just one type of brain when they wrote stories like how to take care of your brain or what your brain is good at. But now we know there are lots of types of brains. Now we celebrate April as Autism Acceptance Month, because we know now that all brains are awesome.